Morning, everybody. It's Teresa. Gardening on the West Fork, Zone 6B. And you know what this is? This is, I'm going to show you what my garden looks like. It's been over a week since I've been in it.
Oh, we've had family, and it's just
Fun,
been
fun stuff.
fun stuff.
Fun stuff. But the good news about summer is it is that time everybody's free to come and you want to, entertain. And it's just one of those things. But the garden, because it is summertime, it can handle that little bit of neglect. And I'll show you why. Mine's a very mature garden, and it thanks us for doing all of that work in the spring. That it's not really work to us gardeners, but it is preparation for the summer. In the spring, we start weeding as soon as we can, even through the winter. And then we go through, we do the fertilization that our plants need, the organic fertilizations that they like.
The mulch.
And then after all of that's done, we mulch it. And you know why? To hold in the moisture, to keep our plants' roots healthy for these hazy, crazy, lazy days of summer when it goes on. And for those people who live in hotter climates and more drought-like climates, they've already got their water systems in place for each plant. Here in West Virginia, usually if I water like I did last night and this morning, the rain that they're predicting in a few days will happen. It's all because of me, people. If you're gardening in West Virginia, it's because I've watered, because I don't like to water unless I have to, of course, the pots. But anyhow, so what are we doing today? We're going to be thankful that we did all the work ahead of time. And I'll show you how a little neglect in the summer, you really can't tell in your garden. Only people that are the gardeners will notice. So let's get going with I'm going to do a little update too on my vegetable pots and herb pots to see how well they're doing with a little bit of neglect. I just love gardening in pots, and you know why? Because I have such a small garden area, and I've had people say, wow, you really can get a lot of produce. Well, you can. This is the bush cucumber. Every week I'm getting at least 1 to 2 cucumbers, which is great for Reg and I. And then look what's happening. We have red robin, yum, tomato reblooming.
I thought you already took tomatoes off.
I took tomatoes off of that probably 4 to 6 weeks ago. It's reblooming, and we'll get a little harvest from there. The other things that I've kind of neglected, not on purpose, is this is my Italian parsley, and we don't want it to go to seed, so I'm going to cut that back. Same thing with your basils. If you grow basil, you don't want it going to seed and blooming. So we're going to go through and pick off that.
Take the blooms off.
Yeah, take the blooms off. That way, what's going to happen, because when you cut down, where's a good picture? Oh, right here, Reg. Take a look. Whenever you cut back, I'm going to go to this one. When you cut this bloom off right down here between these two branches, it'll branch more. And so we want our basil to continue through the summer. This is my cilantro, which I'm allowing it to go to seed because we love the coriander is the seed it's called, and it's a delicious, delicious seasoning to have. But you can still pick these leaves and use them in your dips, your food preps. It still is a delicious herb. So but you got to, when you garden in pots, they require water every day, and the cucumber requires it. You can see it already looks wilted, and I watered it last night. So you've got to keep it watered sometimes twice a day. Particularly, I think we're going to have 96 degrees today.
96.
They need hydration. And this little cucumber will get picked today. Oh, wait, I just noticed one growing right there. Like I said, it produces. So we're going to go down in the lower garden, and we can take a look at what's happening in it by the rain barrel. You can see right here, the tomatoes in my raised bed too, they're producing beautifully. Oh my goodness. But they require a lot of water. You can see it's wilted. I watered yesterday. That's what you do when you have pots. You have to keep them watered when you get into this high heat. The only thing I did keep up on these weeks that I've had people visiting families is I've been trying to deadhead my daylilies, but You know, this is what they look like. This is how sad they look if you don't deadhead them. That's why I'm saying, you know, they look sad, but when you do this, it just makes everything else look very pretty. And, oh yeah, I think I've shown you Savannah Debutante. Just lovely. But when you go, what I do now is when some of these earlier bloomers, once they're through blooming, I think I've showed you this too, go down, cut that stem off, because it dries on the plant and it can become an eyesore. I have one more daylily up here that hasn't bloomed yet. This is Come Here Mary or Look Here Mary. I'll show you in another video once it blooms. But I'm not going to spend all my time deadheading for you. Come on down here. We'll talk about the garden itself. This is the Verbena bonariensis that I said I'm going to let it grow in some of these cracks. There are weeds here just because they pull easily out of the rocks. It won't bother you. It can bother me. But I really like how it's just, you know, wild looking this time of year. The sad part is sometimes, like when you come to this strawberry candy, it's been a producer, but it's done.
It looks like it's done.
It has had its day in the shade. What is the
day in the sun?
Day in the sun, literally. And look at the foliage, how nice it is. Now, not all the daylilies have this beautiful green foliage when they're done. Some of them look really shabby, like this is called, forget the name, Wayside Ruby. And what I'll do with Wayside Ruby, I'm going to let that one live through today, but I will come in with Wayside Ruby, and you can do this to your daylilies too, because even though I'm going to cut it back because it looks so untidy, it will grow back foliage and it'll be nice and green, and this can all go in your compost. So that's what I'll do to the shabby ones. Like Indian Giver looks a little shabby. I will also come in and cut it back, take all the dead foliage off of it. Primping, you know, it's a little primping. But over here in the garden, the beans are doing great. My West Virginia hillbilly tomato, it's got about a month or so before I can eat one of those babies. But look at my gorgeous banana peppers. And you want to pick them when they're a little golden yellow and 4 to 6 inches long. Look at this. This one's ready to pick. I'll pick that. Yum. There's a couple of these I'll get off of here. And Reggie, we can stuff these with some Italian sausage, little marinara sauce. Anyhow, I'll finish picking those. Beside it are the lunchbox peppers, and you have to wait until they start changing color, whether yellow, red, and green. Yeah.
Orange.
Orange, yellow, red, and orange. So we'll wait on those. But these, tempting to bite into one. I'm not going to, though. Set these over here. So come on. I did come out this morning and water. Because everything was looking very hot. And like I said, if I water, we will get the rain, hopefully. But you can see all these little chores make the difference. I want to show you back here is a beautiful daylily. I love the yellow there, but look at this one. This one's called Big Bird. Look at the blooms on this. I don't think I've ever pointed Big Bird out yet, particularly against this Lucifer crocosmia and this double orange. Gorgeous statements. I think too what happens, you can see that my white garden phlox is starting to bloom, and beside it is the Lythrum. Those draw your eye away from the plants that will be waning, because I have asters here. I have some garden phlox, a little purple color there, that will be blooming. I'm thinking about too, I may go look for some annuals that I might put in pots and put in the border to see if that's something I might want to do next year. So, you know, here it is. What? I bet there's sales everywhere the middle of July or in July. This is also Jamaica Me Crazy. I can't remember if I showed this one, but while I'm here, I bought this one because of its name, but it's also beautiful with this purple,
The
oh,
ruffled edge.
ruffled edge.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
what's cool is the middle is ruffled. The others, they bend back and have such a pretty texture to them. Again, Crocosmia, my clematis just has been blooming, blooming, blooming. I can't think of the name of that one.
Well, you have quite a few here to try to remember, Tree.
I do, but I like to do it. I like to do it. Oh, you know what I want you guys to help me to do? I don't think there's an orange in bloom. This is the same plant that's right up here that the deer tried to eat on. And look at this beautiful color, but I don't have the name for it. So if anybody knows if anyone out there knows the name of this beautiful daylily.
Well, hold it up here so we can see.
Okay.
It.
Look at this color. I don't know what color it reminds me of a dreamsicle, like a creamy orange.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know the name, and thank goodness I got the liquid fence on it that day. I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but anyhow, I've been able to save all these daylilies, which is wonderful. The other thing you want to be doing with any of your zinnias, let's get rid of these spent blooms, because then it can put all the energy into all the new buds that are blooming. Get rid of these spent ones. It'll branch off from there. Go in. Anything that looks like it's dead or dying, get rid of that. And it'll just shoot up these new blooms, which I like. Look at the purple back here, so pretty. We'll go through and do that today. The other thing I'm going to do, the experiment that I did with these coleus, I love the chartreuse green, but when it's hot like this, if I don't keep water on them every day, they do wilt back. And I go into my coleus, and I'm going to take the blooms off of them so that they continue to branch out. These are my, oh, good, 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 good. I love seeing the Verbena bonariensis. I love how it reseeds itself where it wants to be. But we'll keep those blooms off the coleus. And back in the back here, you can see the morning glory is going great. But I always come in, and if it's going somewhere I don't want it to go, like wrapping around this rose, you can, or this daylily, you can just tuck it back in here. But what I like back here, I'll cut that off. These coleuses you can't see, but I'm going to move these plants out of the way, Reg. Look at this beautiful color of coleus. And I put it here on purpose for the fall. Absolutely beautiful. And it will thicken up. And I will come in at some point in time. This lithorum will have to get pulled back. But what a deep, beautiful shade of, it's not really red. It's just an orangey red, which I love. There are some weeds in there too. You know, we'll get to it. I'll get to it. The rose, all the roses, because I fed them about 3 weeks ago, they've all got new buds coming out on them. My little pink Bonica rose has buds. This is my double red, oh gosh, I'll think of the name. Yeah, it's getting ready to bloom. If you keep those things going, but you know, the stars are going to be my echinaceas. I just noticed my black-eyed Susan, it's blooming. So there's always something new growing in the garden. I love how this cosmos came up, so that when these daylilies are done, but you can see the difference when I get rid of these dead, faded, how much nicer it looks. Yeah, you got to do that. I want to show you back here, our grasses, Reggie and I did a little video on braiding the grass to keep it upright, and it's doing such a good job. And you can see back here, I was telling Reg, here's a good shot of the braid and how it's holding everything up nice and tight. Even though it's dry, it still is like holding this whole grass up. Look at that. Better than a rope. Beautiful. Adds interest. The bee balm smells great. I mean, everything's looking good, and I didn't do anything. I've been able to stay away from getting in here. Today I will, because it only makes me happy. I can see where the weeds are. Some people, you can see a weed in the grasses. It just bothers me. But I'm going to come in today. Let's get out of the heat here, Reg. I'm going to get in here today and tidy everything up. The blooms on these beautiful...
It's going to be a hot one, honey.
What? It's a hot one. I know.
It's going to be hot.
But I'm going to work in the shade a lot. Like, look at these blooms. That is just so unattractive to me. So I'll just come in here, go clear down as far as you can get, and let's clean up those blooms off these hostas. And it'll just make this whole shade area just pop. And this is what I see when I come down to sit in my garden. But if you don't do it, the plants are still good. They look gorgeous. Let me get these. That way you can see how much nicer this area looks just with me doing a little primping. Wow. Wow, doesn't that look better? Before and after. What I'm going to do today won't take me maybe 40 minutes. But get out and do it. All of these are going to get cut off too. They're looking too shabby. Mostly done. We'll get in here and get that done. So that's going to be my day. And it's probably your day too. We're all busy in July. We're all hot. We'd rather be on the lake or in the pool. But take time, get out in your garden, because it's thanking you for all that hard work. And now we have to give it a little time, take care of it, get rid of those weeds that are maybe encroaching on a new bloom, deadhead them so they look really pretty. They want to look their best. So it's just up to us. And that's how we give back to them for all that they're doing for us. So that's my philosophical thought for the day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Hope you're outside staying cool. Bye.